Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Comics, episode 28. There is a lot to this. Episode 28. Well, that's me. That's me buffering. Okay, I forgot to mute the stream. Apparently, my bad. Anyway, there's two of me, one of Matt. I'm Technique or Frank, your host, and this is my great co-host, Night Out Plays. Okay, Matt, what's up, man? How you doing?
Happy Saturday, man. We're doing good here. We're doing good. Yeah. It's been another fun week of shenanigans and games. I know you're diving headfirst into some stuff. But yeah, like we said right before we were about to go on, this week, especially the last like 2 or 3 days, has been absolutely wild with news and videos and a bunch of everything in between. But outside that, I'm doing well. Happy it's the weekend. Happy to relax and get some shopping and wrapping done.
Yeah, I've been slacking on the shopping part. Just been so busy, man. These past couple of weeks have been. Anytime I think I got a break, it gets busier. And again, I'm not complaining. I like being busy, especially this month. This month is horrible for streamers. But overall, things are going pretty good. We just wrapped up 3 shows. 2 being the Game Awards and another one being Xbox ID at Xbox and Winter Gathering for Twitch. Well, yeah, I guess 3 shows. And lots of news coming out and lots of things happened. So we can go ahead and start off. Might as well talk about the biggest fish in the room. I guess we could start off with Game Awards. There was a lot. We cover everything comic related. The Game Awards does not fall shy of that because there are indeed lots of news involving comics and just games in general that revolve around the comic world. More so, I have a long list here of games that probably will pique everyone's interest that has something to do with comics at one point. The first one that was announced was that I was just like, oh, interesting, was Babylon's Fall. Which is part of, I want to say Dark Horse or Image. One of the two did something about Babylon's Fall a long time ago. I can't remember. But that was interesting. It kind of reminded me of Dragon Dogma. It's more of a multiplayer adventure, maybe a hack and slash of some sort, something of that nature. That looked pretty dang cool. I'm looking forward. It comes out March next year, 2022.
Yeah, Square Enix, Platinum Games, who I absolutely love. I wish
for like
Scalebound came out, but that never came to fruition. That's a whole other conversation.
They keep bouncing around with that. Like it's dead and it's revived, it's dead again. I don't even know. But yeah, they're known for
known for good combat. They're known for Persona. They got some good things. And with Square Enix, seems like Square Enix is publishing a lot of titles. But I'm in.
Yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, they're probably, I want to say, the most successful studio at the moment when it comes to multiplayer games, and they just dishing them out left and right. Looks really, really good. Have a Nice Death. Yeah, it's not comic related, so to speak, but it kind of has that comic vibe. Looking like Hollow Knight, I'm really into it. I want to see it. It's really, really nice. It's all hand drawn.
Yes.
And stuff like that. So that looks really, really cool. Kind of on the same lines of what Hollow Knight went through. For the game being so similar, I wonder if the devs share or they're friends or I don't know. It was just very, very similar.
There's some cross population there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember who it was, but there was like a scene in it where I remember popping on Twitter when it came out. It was like death from paperwork. I was like, yeah, that's about right. Like that is my hell too. So it's really cool the way it goes through. The art animation looks like, I remember, what was it? Bill and Mandy with the Reaper, the cartoon show.
Oh yeah.
Well, it was like, that's what kind of the death person looks like. It's kind of cool though. It's kind of cool though. These are type of games you look at. It's like, I'm going to check it out and try it.
Yeah. It's very, very action packed. Like I said, very Hollow Knight. I mean, that's the only thing I could see that's very inspiration for them. But Hollow Knight better do something, because if Silksong doesn't come out anytime soon, this is scheduled for March, which is not that far away. It's like a little over 3 months. And I don't know. That's definitely going to steal my attention. Evil West looked awesome. Extremely comic booky. I can already see Dark Horse or Image Comics picking this up. Evil West looked really freaking awesome. Look, a cross between a few games, Devil May Cry, Remnant, what was the other game? Dark Riders. It kind of had that feel. So I'm looking forward to that. I don't know if you saw that one. That one was really cool. A lot of juggling, stuff happening. It's like a cowboy and then like vampires and, you know, all the undead and interesting stuff.
I'm pretty sure they teased this earlier this year, like with a really quick, like just cinematic nothing trailer. But what we got looks so cool. It's that offset third person view. It's like cyberpunk Western, I guess is a good way to call it. No, that's cyberpunk, not cyberpunk, steampunk, excuse me. Steampunk plus like technology and a Western, because it's got that little like steampunk feel to it, the way kind of the things are created around it. But regardless, the combat looks cool. It looks like it's going to be a fun journey. And yeah, this could definitely be related into a comic book.
Preacher.
There are aspects, because of the demons and zombies and everything. Yeah,
just the way they look and they move, and like the cowboy, like, you know, I don't know, very comic booky. I think for sure that if that game's successful, we may see somebody pick it up, like Image or Dark Horse. I mean, it looks like it belongs at Image. It looks like it's and wherever Dark Riders rest, that game can be there. The big one, Hellblade 2. Hellblade 1 was Ninja Theory is absolutely incredible, because they don't only make video games, they make motion picture video games. Essentially, everything is most expensive equipment I've ever seen. Motion captures, the stuff that they use in shows and movies such as like Stargate and so on and so forth. I mean, even Avengers used a lot of what they use. And Ninja Theory is really interesting. There's a lot of research that goes on in Ninja Theory in their work. And I'm talking about like mental health, because I mean, Hellblade is dealing with mental health and a lot of mental I don't want to say sicknesses or illnesses. You know, I'm not a doctor to determine and diagnose, but this is what they would say. Hellblade is very interesting. Looks like we went a little bit past the discovery of what mental health is, you know, doing in that world concerning Senu Saga. Yeah, Senu, Senu. And now it's like she's learning to commune with it and like become more aware. So it looks really cool. I'm really excited about that. So that again could be a comic, you know, really easy, or even a live action show. That would be hella successful, unlike the looks of Cowboy Bebop, because Hellblade is made with real problems and real things that don't have to be, you know, I mean, obviously CG is going to play a big role, but they have the equipment there to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, if you look at the trailer for I keep on calling it Sensu. It's not Sensu. There's no S there. Senu Saga, like Hellblade 2, it's the way that Ninja Theory's graphics have always been incredible. You look at this game, and I actually do want to talk about it, The Matrix Awakens, but like there is a little uncanny because, you know, it's a video game, but there are pieces of it where it's like, is this CGI or is this real? Yeah. Like they do so well, and the way they storytell and hold scenes, like, you know, this being an actor, like the way they hold onto her face and hearing the echoes of voices she's hearing, it's really, really cool. Obviously it's a hard game to get through, but it's a good game. It's a very good game. Yeah. When this one comes out, I'm sure it's going to be amazing, obviously.
Yeah, I'm probably going to revisit Hellblade before I play it. I mean,
yeah, that's a good idea. I think I'm not a
long story at all. I mean, I played it on the hardest setting because I didn't know what the heck to expect. And it was glorious. And I think I was impressed with the game, but I was way more impressed with the making of it. They included that in the game as a bonus. When you beat the game, you get to see the making of it, and that, no pun intended, blew my mind. Moving on, Star Wars Eclipse. What? That was wild. What? I'm happy and not happy, and here's a couple of reasons why.
Ooh, okay.
Star Wars Eclipse was great, but we saw what would be more of making a better TV series or a movie. Dealing with the High Republic, yay, check mark. The presentation was great, check mark, but it's by Quantum Dream, Big X. They have problems with racism.
Wait, when did I miss that?
Did you play Detroit Become Human?
No, I did not play that, though. I did not play that. There was race. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a very deep underlying root with Detroit. You can do research on that, and you guys can do it too. I'm not going to get too deep into it, but man, might as well just make that game about slavery, because my God, like that shit was about a whole bunch. Yeah, you could. There's people that did studies and theories on it, and it lines up really well. I felt the same way. I played through the whole game, and I was just like biting my tongue, and to a point where they had some things to say about it, and it was not that great. So a lot of people feel kind of like about it. Detroit Become Human. A lot of people consider it being one of the best storytelling games, but that's what type of game we're probably going to get from Star Wars Eclipse. I thought it was going to be the MMO. I was getting really excited about it. But yeah, seeing that they have that history, this is going to be a storytelling game where you're not really controlling too much. You're watching stuff and you're making decisions, just like Detroit Become Human. Yeah, at least that's what they're known for.
So Detroit Become Human and Heavy Rain? What were they called?
Quantum something. Quantum
Break?
Yeah.
That was Remedy. That was Remedy.
Okay.
Because that turned into a TV show and all that. That was Max. Yeah, that was Remedy. Yeah. So, what were those type of games?
Well, Heavy Rain and Detroit Human are both in the same world, apparently. They're cinematic choice-making games. You don't really control a character; you control their actions.
See, that's where this differs, and this is what's interesting but scary. So, this is being touted as, and this is directly from their website and everyone else. From award-winning independent studio, Quantic Dream, and Lucasfilm Games, comes Star Wars Eclipse, a new action-adventure, multiple-character branching narrative game set in the High Republic. So, but the action-adventure part of it are those...
They consider Detroit Human the exact same thing, and it was none of the sort. It's going to be a cinematic, quick decision prompt. You know how in Spiderman in the beginning you had these prompts come up and you just pop. That's exactly what it's going to be like. That's what they call their action adventure part of it. Narrative is very story driven. You make decisions. Your decisions matter, quote unquote. Yeah. For replayability. That's going to suck. You know, I don't know. I feel like, that's something you bring out way later when we already have the High Republic like really drilled into our minds and really develop a sense of love for it. I feel I just hate that that's going to be the first thing that we get, you know. That's just a personal opinion. Not saying it's going to be bad. It might be great. I mean, who knows? But I'm not that. I was excited until I saw who was making it, and then I was just like, oh.
Well, I mean, you see the trailer. The trailer got me excited, but at the same time, it's kind of like you said. Is this a TV show or a video game? Now, I was
more excited about a TV show. I was like, ooh, this would be great if it's a show.
Yeah, I mean,
great as a movie.
It hits all the notes that we wanted, and we've talked about before, right? We get away from the Skywalker saga, right? We're in a different area, still within the same kind of galaxy because you saw, pieces and tidbits here and there.
Before,
but it's much
after
before.
Old Republic. No, before Old Republic.
Yeah, it's the High Republic. It's the height of the Jedi, the height of the Republic, and you got little glimpses of characters here and there. I don't know if there was. I don't know. In High Republic, and maybe this is because you're the resident Star Wars guy here, or in chat too, right? But when you were going through it, could that be Yoda, or is that someone else? Because is he part? Like, I know he was like plus 900 years old.
Yoda's lived a long time.
Yeah, but I don't know if they've set him like alive in the High Republic era. That one I don't know yet. Okay,
I believe so.
So there is a little bit of ties there, but. Like, I have so many questions, and I think that's what excites me about it. I know there's outside things, but, when you thought of The Last Jedi and how good that was by Respawn, and I really had no thoughts about going into it. I really don't have any about going this, especially it's about an era and a place that I really don't know about. So for me specifically, I'm intrigued by it.
I 100% believe that's Yoda because... Yoda spoke about a lot of things from the High Republic before, just didn't call it the High Republic. But the thing is that I was excited about what was it called?
Last Jedi?
The Jedi one, the game that Respawn did.
Yeah, what's it called? Was it called The Last Jedi? No. Oh my God. Jedi Fallen Order. Sorry, Jedi Fallen Order. I messed up the name before. Sorry.
My head. I was excited about that. Was disappointed when I played it.
Really?
Because my bar was high because they really marketed the hell out of that game, dude. Like, we're coming off of like Apex.
Yeah.
We're coming off a lot of stuff that they were doing. They had a lot of money involved in it. And I'm just like, okay, all right. This is looking good. And then they turned around and did what they did, and I'm just like, okay, it's okay. And then when I saw the drums, I was like, first thing I said was Night Sisters, like first thing I said, because I was like, oh my God, this is great. We're going to get a different, we're finally getting what we need. And then I was just like, oh my God, is this a movie? Is this like something where we're going to get a series and a game at the same time? Is this massive? Like, I was just, a lot of hope was cool. Surrounding.
Well, that's the weird thing, right? Like we just got this. Like we just got this, right? And it's like we heard tidbits of it via the interwebs. We even talked about it over here. Like there was leaks and everything probably about a month ago, give or take, right, chat? But we've known about Massive's Star Wars, and they announced it earlier this year. It was earlier this year, right? It was earlier this year, I think. So it's like we still haven't seen anything from it yet. We got this whole crazy huge cinematic, piece from Quantum or Quantic. It's like, so now it scares me a little bit, right? Like what's going on with Massives? Like, I feel like we should be seeing and hearing more things about that now than, because we didn't see anything. They just announced it. We didn't see anything
I'm okay
from it.
with that though. I'd rather, if they feel like it's a failure, I'd rather it die without having anything attached to it, but a rumor. At the end of the day, we can discard it as a rumor. I don't want them to do the Anthem thing where they announce, they show it, and they're like, oh, so everybody's like, oh my God, I can't fucking wait. And then next thing you know, they kill it off, and then we get trash that we pay for, and then they kill it off, and then they talk about reborn, and then they kill it off again. I'm like, I just don't want that again. I don't want another Mass Effect. Yeah. Okay. Even though I think Andromeda is okay now, I just don't want it to be where we get all this talk that we get, and then for it to just lead to disaster. And video game studios are feeling the crunch because of COVID being the way it is, and like seeing other video game studios kind of fall apart, and then but the funny thing is really weird. Video game studios fall apart for others to rise, and it's really interesting. I'm glad that people are very much on that boat, and I feel it. Speaking of which, it's a good segue into ZeniMax is hiring.
ZeniMax is hiring. Oh,
big time. I'm not talking about a little bit. I'm talking about huge. So either they got money from
Microsoft. Hell yeah, they got money from Microsoft
to fund, which is great. I'm going to be hitting up jobs.zenimax.com if you're interested. I'm going to be hitting it up too. Why not? Might as well just check it out to see what's available. But they're hiring a lot. First of all, I like their commercial. The commercial was awesome. It was awesome. It's old school.
How many games did they give away?
Yeah,
Pete Hines. How many did they give away? That was awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
But you know what? Would you rather, and this goes to chat too. So you brought up an interesting point before ZeniMax. It's like, I don't know if it's exactly what you're going with, but would you rather game studios and publishers go the route of Guardians of the Galaxy, where we heard about it in like early summer, and all of a sudden 4 or 5 months away the game is coming out? Or would you want like these teases and tidbits with most likely 2 years later it's coming out, and then you got delays? Like where do you stand with it?
Yeah, I think not knowing anything about it and having it release is a better theme right now. It was hugely successful for Fallout, even though Fallout 4 to me wasn't that great, but that massive uproar of buying was astronomical. They made so much money. Fuck, it even made certain creators' careers, aka Cole Carnage's career, was made off of that announcement.
Yeah.
Reining in like 60,000 a day of people, because they hit the stage. Nobody knew. They talked about Fallout. They had something like a little teaser right before the announcement, had the announcement at E3, and then said it was available.
Yeah,
like
that was crazy. That's
huge, bro. Like, see that stirs. Hell, I wouldn't even mind if it was like 2 weeks to a month out. I think that's a little bit better. It's fun for that, but if it's a brand new IP, I don't think you could do that. IPs with weight such as Star Wars,
if you can do that with,
Star Wars Old Republic said, "Hey, we remastered the game. EA is no longer here. The blah 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 that's doing it." And you can get into open beta today, people would lose their shit. They would forget about anything that's ever bad happened. Even World of Warcraft. If World of Warcraft popped up today, and no matter how much people are hating Activision and Blizzard right now, if they were like, yeah, we decided to make The reason why we pushed back or canceled Overwatch 2 is because we decided to make Titan. Everybody would jump on that jump. They'd be like, yo, we're going to start today. You can get into open beta, sign up for closed beta today. Open beta will start in like a month, and then we're going to do a live release in March. Everybody would be all over it. No matter what feelings people have for Blizzard or Activision, besides me, I wouldn't be on it, but still, people would just be jumping to the occasion and forget all about all the milking and stuff that companies are doing to them. Just because people love to ride the honeymoon phase. That's the thing that everyone is on right now.
Very
so
true.
much is being released. Yeah. If that Star Wars Republic game was like, see, I don't know about Star Wars Eclipse. If they would have said this is available next month, I probably would, after seeing who's doing it, I probably would wait. So I think it depends on the studio that's behind it and the IP. Also, I don't mind things being announced.
Yeah.
I just don't like how certain people do it. And we'll be getting into that very soon.
Yeah, I'm just like, we'll get into it a little bit too in the next couple. Like I like the announcements of it. Like I like when they say early development, like Eclipse early development. There's one that we're going to talk about that came up early development. Wolverine. Hey, early development.
See, I think that was great.
I'm okay
with.
You know
why?
I hate
because they started with Spider-Man.
Yeah, but like what I hate is on the opposite, because that's Marvel, what DC did specifically with Gotham Knights. Like I understand, like how can game studios, and this is still something I'm trying to wrap around, because like I think of it as like a boss situation. I'm working at a job. Like how can I say, hey, by the way, hey Frank, that studio that you wanted built, we got contracted for. Here we go. I'm gonna announce today to you that it's gonna be ready in 6 months. 2 months after saying that, I'm gonna say, hey, by the way, Frank, it's not gonna be ready in 6 months. It's gonna be ready in, not 8, not sometime in 2022. Wait, what? Like that's that. Yeah. Like how does that? I don't understand that.
I look at it like a Happy Meal, right? You got to provide us a meal of something, and then the toy can be something that you tease, right? It's as long as you're giving. So that's why I say Insomniac Studios did it right.
Yeah.
They gave us Spider-Man 2. Like, holy shit, this is in development. We know Spider-Man's good, right? It has a track record that they know. They are the go-to for Spider-Man. They know how to handle physics, everything. Great. Wolverine trailers is icing on the cake.
Yeah.
It's like, and they're doing Wolverine. Yeah. People are going to forget about anything else. They're just happy that shit's in development.
No, but like, I'm happy with that. Like, I agree with you. They did it right. It's not coming out in 2022. It's not coming out it's coming out in 2023. Like, I'm cool that even God of War kind of got me a little bit. It's like, it's coming out in 22. By the way, it's not coming out in 2022. Like the announcement with a date that's somewhat close, when like you're going to have to crunch and hit these milestones and you're not going to do it, just wait. Just say early, say in development.
I agree.
Coming.
But you have to have some credibility before you do it. I think that's where it all boils down to it. Insomniac, incredibly. I mean, Miles Morales came out so fucking fast. Like, they announced it and they were like, November. Damn, by the way, you got a PlayStation, get Miles Morales. Like, what?
We're launching with it. What?
Even if it was like, I don't know, 25 hours, I didn't give a crap. I was like, yo, we're getting Miles Morales like now? Like, what are you? What? When did they start development? And we're getting remastered Spider-Man. Like, what the fuck? So it was just like boom, boom, boom. And then we still not over the high of Miles Morales Spider-Man or remastered Spider-Man. They go ahead and announce Spider-Man 2. I'm like, okay, wait a minute, stop. And then they're like, by the way, we're gonna go Wolverine, and everybody's just like, okay, you're just melting us right now. This is great. But then again, look at Horizon. Okay, so they announced Horizon Forbidden West. I mean, we had Horizon. There's a long break. They released Horizon on PC, long break. And then Horizon Forbidden West, long break, went dark, came back, showed the scene, and then they showed the same scene and the same scene and the same scene. By the way, we want you to spend $300 on this freaking this huge package, right, with a big elephant in it, and then we're gonna show you the same scene again, and then we're gonna announce a Game Awards. So it's just the same. In that case, I'm a little sick of it. So I'm just like, all right, that's like eating the same meal every night.
Yeah, now they're doing
it might
too
be your
much
favorite
with it,
damn meal. But goodness gracious, I'm so sick of hearing about it. Just come out with the damn game already, or just don't talk about it. So it's at that point where you overdo it. So, speaking of which, good announcements. Lost Ark, something I'm very excited about.
Yeah.
pushed up, which we were kind of already figuring. Lost Ark is a game that's been in development for 8 years. Smilegate, very, very great studio, by the way. They know how to make very visually pleasing games and action-packed games, which they are coming out with Crossfire as well, February 10th. February releases, by the way. February is huge. February, March, huge. And January, February, March, those 3 months, huge. So hopefully you get some money back from your taxes. Yeah, got pushed up to February 11th, February 8th for Founders users. There's not really much I'm going to go into detail about that because it's not really that big comic related, but I'll be playing the hell out of it. Something to check out if you like ARPG, MMR, and MMOs. That's a combination of both.
That's another, and you know what? That's another Amazon title, and they need some wins.
Yeah,
they need it published. Excuse me. Yeah, I mean because this isn't created by Amazon Games where New World was, but they need a win.
Smilegate created it.
Yeah, they need another win, so that's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, and the good thing about it is that they're very, 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 very close relationships with Smilegate, to where they're changing things for the Western market for it to be better released for the Western market, which goes without saying. They removed the summoner. A lot of people didn't understand why, but the summoner is probably going to get reworked and introduced in a different way. And they introduced the brand new class that just came out in Korea. That's coming out on release, which is huge because you normally never get that. I mean, speaking of MMOs, there's a Sword Legend Online, was a Wushu MMO. They've yet to give us anything that China has, and they had it for years. So that game has gone down the drain because of that. As we were talking about releases being poop, or announcements, Wonder Woman got announced. DC, the first thing I said was, damn it, DC. Like, stop giving me your, we know you can animate stuff. That's great. Don't give me no flashy little, 10-second animation show Wonder Woman and then cut it off and don't say nothing.
I mean, they did say a decent amount with the voiceover.
It's Gotham Knights all over again.
No. So you know who it's made by?
I know it's made Monolith.
Yeah, and that's the Nemesis system. That's a Shadow of War. Like, I'm down with that. Especially if she's okay, so the voiceover essentially states that she's Wonder Woman in the world. They're calling her back to Themyscira because there's a threat in Themyscira. So if you're in Themyscira, I said a Themyscira a lot there. Playing as Wonder Woman, taking on a new threat, whether it's Ares or something that's within her world. Maybe it's even Kitty.
Hey, stop doing that.
Even if it's a good version of a cheetah fight, like, I'm actually down for that because we're finally out of not only the Batman universe, but we're also out of Rocksteady and Warner Brothers Montreal. I love Monolith Studios. I think they're a fantastic studio, and I'm okay with this is an early development. This is something we're working on. Will come soon because it's a studio that is known for creating some bad shit. I beeped the wrong one out. Anyway.
I understand, but at the same time, that's something that could have waited. That's something that could have waited with some.
Yes.
Yeah. Some fertility. That's a huge IP. It's Wonder Woman. So you bring it with, I think, some fast, like, camera flash shit that they always do, blackout on, of like a spit of combat, even if it was cinematic, something more to feed the appetite, because I feel like that announcement was super premature because of all the releases that are coming out. If we were in a dry spell drought to where we didn't have any releases coming out, then I say, okay, all right, entertain the idea. E3 would have been a way better time to announce it. It would have been way better because E3, the E stands for empty. Fucking empty promises. We are so understanding that E3 is just a bunch of empty promises. We would have been okay with that. You know what I'm saying?
That is something I do want to talk about.
Game Wars is so thick. We knew that list was so deep. It was like, gosh, it is Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers was tagged on that, by the way. It was Warner Brothers and Monolith.
Well, yeah, because it's Warner Brothers owns. Warner Brothers Interactive is the publisher. Monolith is the active developer.
Yeah, so I'm just like, bro, Warner Brothers, have you learned your lesson? You haven't released anything yet. You wait till you release Suicide Squad, then you dump this out because you need a win.
Oh, no. I'm going to pop off right now. I went off on Friday with chat on this. I 100% agree with you. in 2020, it wasn't even 2021, they announced Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League and Gotham Knights. Yeah. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League was supposed to come out in 2023, and now it's magically pushed up to sometime next year. We got gameplay trailer finally from it, and you messaged me, and that's when I know you're hyped because you messaged me.
Yeah, I'm hyped. That shit look great. We'll get into that. We don't go there right now.
Was announced. It was supposed to come out this year, and it still isn't out. We have no idea about it. We haven't heard diddly nor squat about it, and now Warner Brothers, you're throwing Wonder Woman at us. Get your act together.
That's what I'm saying.
Just come on.
Think of it like this. If Suicide Squad sucks, even though it's a different, developer, is gonna have patience for Wonder Woman. They're gonna be like, you're gonna ruin another IP. I can just see it right now. But anyway, we'll get into that soon. Alan Wake 2, huge announcement.
Yeah, bro.
So let's talk about announcing some shit too early. 2023, maybe. So 2022, they said they're gonna go dark. But here's the deal. Alan Wake has been hyped. It's like not Portal. Oh my God, my brain. I'm getting old. What is that one game that everybody every single year wants to come out?
Half-Life 3?
Half-Life.
Yeah.
You can announce that, and that shit could be in development in 2026, and people will freak out about it. Alan Wake is up there in that hype because people want horror so bad. They want a good horror game. Not only they get a pass because it's horror survival. We all know survivals take forever to do. And if you're doing a horror survival, is it multiplayer? Is it single player? Like, there's a lot of questions that can be thrown in the void. He looked very uncomfortable talking about it. It was like, yeah, that told me that we don't even have everybody we want hired.
They're not even
we
close.
Are going dark because we don't. And I love that. I love the fact that he admits that we are nowhere near any completion. We're going super dark. You may hear something from us in 2022, but this game ain't nowhere near fruition till maybe 2023. And see, I respect that because again, they're taking an IP that's already had its credibility through the roof, and people are waiting for this, and people have been wanting this for so long, and it's finally getting picked back up. It's like Silent Hill. If Silent Hill was announced again, which we'll get into why it's not, but if that was announced again, people would feel the same way.
I mean, and Remedy, so you kind of felt like this was coming with Alan Wake because you had it go free on Xbox, you had the remaster of it, and now you got this. And I personally am a huge fan of Remedy just because of Control came out of nowhere for me in 2019, and that is a game that I still think back on. It completely changed so much for me because of the storytelling, the gameplay, like that it came out of nowhere, and that protagonist was badass. Throwing Alan Wake, that was another hint, throwing Alan Wake into the DLC earlier this year, man.
They're in the same world.
Oh man.
So that's even more hype.
I love it. Yeah.
Because they can keep adding on to Control if they wanted to.
Yeah.
To hold us over. They can put tidbits of Alan Wake into that, and those worlds can collide. And Alan Wake, by the way, that cinematic was scary as shit. I was just like, whoa, baby. Oh goodness, stop coming at me like that. Pretty dang good.
They are like ZeniMax. They are hiring everybody right now.
There's
my
a job
goodness.
for everybody at ZeniMax.
No,
I'm going to be checking that out real soon.
At Remedy, I mean, if you want to go live in Sweden, by all means, but my goodness, they're hiring everyone right now. Dude, Moss fan, it's amazing. Moss fan, the Control ending is amazing.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So, Keiichiro Toyama, Silent Hill.
Oh.
Slitherhead.
Yeah.
Badass. I can't wait. That was awesome because it's horror, but it's told by it's a Japanese mythological horror, and I would say mythological. It's not really mythological, but it's kind of like urban legend. There you go, urban legend horror. And if you ever watched the anime called Parasite, it seems very close to Parasite. It looks awesome. It's like that level of horror to where it's got a little comedy reference in it because that's the Eastern, like, Japanese humor put into horror. And nobody knows horror better than Japanese because their horror is scary as hell. Boy, if you can get in some real scary shit when it comes to horror movies, sometimes you may even wonder if, some things are real or not. There's some Splatterhouse stuff that they've done that's...
Excuse me?
Yeah. That's scary. I'm interested because Silent Hill's been turned into a comic book before, so maybe Slitherhead get his own TV series comic book. I don't know. Definitely his own anime. Like I see anime written all over it. This is what I'm super hyped about. Nightingale. Oh my God, that blew me out of the water. Because Nightingale, at first I thought Nightingale was the show called Magic, where they went to the land of the Fae and stuff like that. And
it was like Magic. I love that show. Yeah, on Sci-Fi, I think it was. That was a really good show. Yeah.
Obviously, it was heavily inspired by that. Obviously, there's a lot of the things in it. But Nightingale, very, very interesting. First of all, you can sign up for it today at playnightingale.com. I've already signed up. It's a it's a server-based massive multiplayer. I don't want to say MMO RPG, but there's progression, there's building, and there's monsters that you need people help with to take down. Like there's different levels, like huge ones, and it's supposed to have dedicated servers. So it's interesting. I'm very interested. It looks great. It's got a steampunk factor to it. It's got a horror factor to it. It's got a survival factor. It looks really great. I was really impressed. That was an uppercut that I did not realize that was coming. So I'm very, very much so into it.
It's a shared world survival crafting game set in a rich gas lamp Victorian fantasy setting.
Yeah.
Players venture through portals where adventure and mystery awaits as a myriad of beautiful and increasing dangerous worlds. Wow.
And they said it was infinitely possible. So it's all
solo with friends or meet people across realms.
Yeah.
Wow. So dude.
It kind of reminded me of
playnightingale.com is where you want to go. There's some cool things here.
No Man's Sky theory of the way, everything is processed different. Procedurally generated worlds. It seems like the portals are going to be the same, and you can find a home portal to build and stuff like that if you want to, and then go and mark places and go after Fae beasts, and you all have special powers and regain powers, and it's progression system, and it looks fantastic.
First person too?
Yeah, you go first person or third person.
First or third. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, I'm trying not to get too hyped for it because it looks fantastic. I even told my chat, I said, this looks too good to be true. So we're going to hold on to our hats. We are very critical when it comes to these games. So I just don't want to fall in that area of saying, oh my God, it's and then it poop. We all know how the survival element in crafting games go. They have the honeymoon phase. I mean, look at Ark. I mean, Ark does have their very dedicated user base, but not Ark. Ark is one, but what's the one that just came out and nobody's really talking about it? The Honey I Shrunk the Kids.
Grounded? No, Grounded. I think it was Grounded. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that was
that hit for like a day or two.
But what the heck is happening with that? Anyway, they're doing updates. Just nobody really cares about it. I see. Another comic related one. I'm happy to say Sonic doing so good. Sonic's doing so well. There's so much Sonic news. The second movie obviously coming out. Idris Elba. By the way, his Knuckles is holy crap, dude.
That was awesome.
He was in an interview. He's like, no, I don't plan to make it sexy by any means. I'm going to. I was like, Idris, I'm as straight and chocolatey as they come, brother. I had to listen to it 50 billion times, bro. You can't be using that voice for Knuckles. You try to get rings, not panties. All right. Like, anyway, so fantastic. Jim Carrey is back. It's Eggman, Robotnik. He looks incredible. Like, Jim Carrey is one of my favorite people. He's awesome. He was on the Game Awards and he gave a little split. He wasn't there. Gave a little, recording or whatever. And it was fantastic. It was classic Jim Carrey. Never get a serious answer out of him. He's awesome. Jeff was there, and the guy that voiced, I forgot the guy's name that voices Sonic, who's a comedian. He was great. He was really, really well. Probably one of the best speakers up there because there was a lot of cringy moments at the Game Awards.
I mean, but it's Game Awards. You kind of,
yeah. We have Tails, Sonic, and Knuckles, and possibly Supersonic, because the Emerald isn't there. Which would be awesome. I still have to watch the first Sonic. I'm really excited for it because I heard it was fantastic. And I'm just so happy for that crew. And we go ahead and tag this news on there. Sonic Frontiers 2 open world experience multiplayer at that. Holy shit. I'm so excited for that game.
How does that work?
Yeah, because Frontiers was Dreamcast was the last time I saw an open world Sonic game that I enjoyed. And man, it looks gorgeous. If you haven't had a chance to see the trailer, make sure you go look at it. Sonic Frontiers coming out in 2023. No, 2022. Next month, next year. There's so many games coming out next year. There's so many games coming out next year. I'm like, why next year? Now I'm asking the question, like, why not 2023? There's just too many. And especially quarter one. All these games that we're announcing are all quarter one games, by the way, besides Alan Wake and Slitherhead. Yeah, incredible.
There is as of right now, there is a boatload of games coming out from the end of January to the end of March. There's a lot coming out on 2/22/22, the 25th. Like there is a lot of games coming out, man.
Every week in February, there's a release, or more than one release. And on top of that, we're not even talking about the sleeper hits that come out or the indie games.
That's true. That is very true. These are just the ones that are getting touted at these shows.
Yep. All right, let's get into it. This is gonna be a little bit of a heftier conversation. Suicide Squad. Okay. Yeah. I told Matt earlier, I said Suicide Squad is gonna be there. So I knew the list a little bit above earlier than normal. I'm okay with say that now.
You can say that now. Yeah.
In trouble. But yeah, I was like, Suicide Squad is definitely going to be there because he was hoping. He was like, last week he said that hopefully we get some Suicide Squad news. They were there.
Yeah.
That's why I was smiling so hard during the episode. I didn't expect him to go that hard though. It looks absolutely fan-freaking-tastic. We're talking about an open world multiplayer, very open world, which I did not expect.
Yeah.
I expected it to be an ARPG or RTS at one point because the way that they kept messing with camera views not during this presentation, but during the older ones. I was like, what the hell is this?
Yep, during all the other trailers, yeah.
Full body, it looks like a multiplayer Guardians of the Galaxy experience. They're talking to each other. They're bantering back and forth. They're bantering with whatever they're fighting. I don't know. I know they said it was multiplayer at one point, didn't they?
They said, I believe at one point that it is up to a 4-person co-op game.
Okay.
So that's why you're getting that multiplayer feel for sure.
Yeah, they kept, it's definitely multiplayer because at the end, it was worrying me to where I thought you switch between characters. Like the characters are NPCs and they're doing their thing. You switch and then you take them over. You could do
solo and switch over, yeah.
So maybe that's how solo campaign is. But at the end, I did see 4 different things happening at once. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, good. It looks fantastic. They really captured each person's personality. The voice acting is great. That mission that they showed is not the whole game. That's the first person you fight is the Flash. Barry Allen is controlled by Brainiac. Brainiac's back. Goddamn. You can't get rid of Brainiac in video games. That's for goodness, man. He's in every damn DC video game. He's got to be there. Anyway, well, whatever. I'm cool with it. It looks fantastic. They did great with Barry Allen. I don't know. They definitely got one of the original Barry Allen voices. I don't know which one it is, but I do recognize it, and maybe from Injustice. But yeah, looks fantastic. Harley is not over the top. She's a little bit more comic booky.
Yep.
Than she is like the animes and the movies portray. She's a little bit more focused, it seems. Shark looks awesome. Sharkman. Is it Deadshot or Deadeye?
That's Deadshot and was it Killer Shark, I believe.
Okay, yeah, Deadshot. His moveset looks fantastic. Everything looks great. Blew my mind. I was like, okay, I'm hyped. Like I admitted it. Like I was like, yep. I'm the moment I saw, I was like, all right, I gotta message Matt. Yo, check out Suicide Squad. Fucking look hype. It's hype. That's how you do it.
Yeah,
I would have rather than waited to announce it. Game Awards, and I would have been through the roof hype more than like when they did. I think they could have just did Gotham and just took
King
the L
Shark,
on it.
King Shark, not Killer Shark. Sorry.
What's that? What?
It's King Shark, not Killer Shark.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's fine. But that's what I'm saying. Like, if they would have just announced Gotham Knights, got that L, and then came out with this, people would have forgot about that and would have been like, oh, okay, they're serious. All right, cool. And then people would have been like, this is why they delayed it. This is why we're not getting anything from Gotham. It would have been, even if that's not the truth, it would have been like a good Band-Aid. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, I understand now, seeing that trailer, seeing the gameplay trailer, why it took so long for them to get to this point. Because if you look at the games that Rocksteady created, specifically the Batman Arkham franchise, it's single player, somewhat of a linear progression with side story, and
not much open world.
And it's you're that third person kind of zoomed in, you know, a little bit lower than the butt view. You know, this is something completely different that they have done. You know, you're talking about not only is it 4 main characters on the screen at once doing things, you have potential co-op in this, which they've never done before. They've done a little bit of online team up, but not like to this. So like, I understand why it's taken them so long to get to this place. But that gameplay trailer itself, it makes so much sense. I like how they're focusing on the Flash, but they brought up Wonder Woman, they brought up Green Lantern, they brought up Batman and Superman. Like, you know, like those are going to be the kings and queens of the castle that you're going to have to go and defeat.
And they're definitely going to be patches. Definitely going to be live service. You're definitely going to be paying for DLC. Let's be real.
Yeah, I think so.
And that's fine. I'm cool with that. But like, as long as the game flows as well as it did in the trailer, I'm cool with it. And see, I don't think it's the length of time that bothers people. I think it's just the announcements and knowing that nothing's coming until like 3 or 4 years later. Like, why announce it? We were fine not knowing about it. I think it's because they desperately need a win.
No, DC in general needs a win, not just for movies, not for TV, not for, like, they need a win in general. I think this gameplay trailer should be a win. The way their combat is so different. It kind of reminds me of if you're going to play it with friends, like, how are you going to team up? Kind of like with an Outriders thing from Square Enix, right? You have different characters, different abilities. Which bad guys are you going to go and take on? How are you taking on the big bads? Like, King Shark is the upfront kind of tank brawler who's going to take out a lot of people at once, where you're going to have Harley and Boomerang. Boomerang's gameplay looks really cool.
Yeah, it look really
cool. You know, getting in, getting out, shooting people. I like when you do like the, it's not ADS with him, but it's kind of like when you have the shotgun and you hit ADS, like it does that third person zoom in. But then you play Deadshot and you're really looking down a scope. Like that's...
Yeah. They bounce between first person and third person really well. That's something I'm worried about in a good way. Is you know, I'm up for the challenge. Looks good. I'm here for it. The world building looks really, really well.
I like how they're using.
I hate to say this. I might as well go ahead and put the elephant in the room. Not impressed with Spider-Man on Marvel Avengers. I'm impressed with the outfits. The outfits look incredible, but the gameplay looks stale. I mean,
a lot of people are talking about the web slinging too.
You can't, man. Yeah, we're back to Spider-Man 2. Look, they're in a position where they don't have a choice, because the way the game is. If it was revolved around Spider-Man, then they'd be fine. But Spider-Man has to be out in the jungle, and Spider-Man has to be out in like space and all this shit that they have to do with the desert. The hell is Spider-Man gonna web sling on in a desert? You know, like, so I get it. I absolutely get it. And if they would have went the comic book route and gave Spider-Man his motorcycle, then people would just be like, but I don't feel like playing Spider-Man. Yeah. You know, like, so it's just like, what do you do? So they took the route they had to. I mean, I understand it, but it doesn't look, I mean, fucking, I hate to say this. Fortnite did Spider-Man better.
Dude, I've been watching that web slinging gameplay so far this morning.
Well, that's because they really, 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 you know, one thing that Epic does good at, copying people. So they did really good at copying Insomniac. They did. Yeah.
You had
to.
Side
by side. And it was the exact same thing Miles Morales does when he's trailing a car. It's the same thing, but it's okay because we look at Insomniac as the pioneers of Spider-Man now. And if somebody, I always say, if it's not broken, don't fix it. Copy it. Go for it. If it's within your bounds, do it. What are you going? I mean, it's Spider-Man. The IPs are owned by the same entity. You're okay, you know. So, I don't know what to say. So, what I was going to overall say is that Suicide Squad has the chance to steal the mantle from Avengers.
The way that they're processing it out, I mean, I kind of feel bad a little bit for Avengers and Square Enix because it's like, why?
Because they have Guardians of the Galaxy. That was a huge win.
Well, okay, Crystal Dynamics, excuse me, because they're the main of all the ones that came together for it. But like, I feel like they were almost kind of like hamstrung into doing this. Like, if I was there, I'd be like, if we're just gonna be able to only get this on one platform,
you're talking about Spider-Man.
Like I don't understand why they had to put Spider-Man out there. I know it's Spider-Man. I know he is the number one. Like he's here. But if you're hamstrung,
it's a money grab.
You can't do a story for it because of it. You can't do this. You can't do that. It's that one's tough for me, especially since they've been getting in better graces with the fans and their audience and getting a little bit more people. But I feel like that kind of set them. It said they took 2 steps forward. And now they took 3 steps back with this. Yeah,
I mean, they're doing really well. They're I forgot they call the raids, but
they're pretty cool.
Expeditions or whatever. They're doing really well. It's just that people want them to be weekly and not weekend lockout.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's really weird. So I'm in the VIP server. There's a lot of really dedicated. I'm talking about super dedicated creators that are giving their 2 cents and they are listening. So. I think Crystal Dynamics and Avengers and Square Enix is going to be, as a whole, is going to be great. I just think it's going to be great towards middle of 2022 or end of 2022 because they've learned. They typically game studios have to take about a year and some change to really learn what fans want and how to make it work and their technology that they're doing because they're trying to do things that haven't been done. At least haven't been done well, and I'm okay with that. That's why I'm okay taking breaks. That's why it's okay. Outriders right now is lit, dude. It's so fun. A lot of people aren't paying because they gave up. People are Anthem sick.
Yeah.
It's like they put their faith in something and they're like, okay, well, I'm out. Let's go to another one. And I think if people gave if Outriders were released today, it would be a whole different story. So True. That's why I'm not too mad about Suicide Squad because I'm just like, they have a chance. Don't mess it up. Take your time. Nobody's really caring about the release date right now because there's too many other games coming out.
I mean, if this is the next chapter and they've been hearing the fans cry, I hope it is for DC because you started with Insomniac, you got Spider-Man, you went boots to the floor running on it. You had Marvel Avengers, you got Miles Morales. Now you got Guardians of the Galaxy, and it's branching off even more and more with Wolverine, Midnight Suns, the MMO, and a bunch of other things that we don't even know about, right?
DC Universe 2.0.
Yeah, I hope this is the next chapter, the restart of DC with, okay, let's get our big boy out there, like Insomniac, Rocksteady Studios is their big boy. We'll do Suicide Squad. Batman Arkham Origins is a fan favorite. Okay, Gotham Knights, whatever we talked about before. And hey, by the way, Monolith Studios, a great studio, award-winning. Oh, here you go. Now we got Wonder Woman. Now I hope even though that's in the world and still in the realm of Warner Brothers Interactive, I hope this is the start of it to start branching out even further now that Monolith has Wonder Woman. So that's my hope. Yeah. We'll see.
Hopefully. I mean, just like with Star Wars, the game coming out is going to be canon. It's literally set between 2 movies or something of that nature, or before a movie or so.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
Eclipse is like canon movie universe wise. So like, I think if DC does the same thing and just say, hey, this is canon, we'll be in a little bit better place. I don't know. We'll see, because we need a start from DC. We still don't have one. Whether it be movie or game, I think they need to just connect all the worlds together. I think it just be cooler. Forspoken, May 24th, 2022. Forspoken looks absolutely incredible. We have a female black protagonist. You don't see that often. It's really great. I can't wait to see it. The voice acting is incredible. Again, another Square Enix joint taking over the world.
Yeah.
That looks so good. It looks so good. I hope don't be disappointed. Like, I'm really trying to contain my hypeness about it, but they're starting to push the crap out. I've seen it on every website. Like, they're really pumping it out when it comes to advertisement and stuff for that game. And that game's not released until May next year. And that's like, almost, that was more than half a year away. Whatever. Cool. But it's Forspoken, and that's another game that's been like announced at Empty Promises E3, and we haven't heard anything about it for a while. And then it popped up for a little bit. They had a mistake where somebody put it online that was releasing this year, and it was like earlier this year. I was like, what the hell? And then they took it down, and it went.
Well, I mean, it's there is some really good people behind it over at Luminous, and I do know one of the writers, being Todd Stashwick. He's a fantastic writer. He was tied with Amy Hennig on the Visceral game for Star Wars that got canceled. but now he's on with Amy on the new Marvel game coming out with Focus Interactive, another one from Marvel. So like he is a very, very good writer, and I'm interested to see what they're gonna do. I mean, they did Final Fantasy 15, I believe it was, Luminous. So but they got great writers behind it. I'm excited, and the actress that plays the main character looks good. The way you got different abilities and the storytelling, it looks really like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it looks great. I'm into it. Oh, yeah, I'm looking at my list. That's what I'm looking at,
okay.
Yeah, I have a list down here with all the stuff. I'm not pulling this out of my mind. My mind is not good enough.
I know mine isn't either.
Yeah, I can't remember everything. Warhammer.
Man, that's huge. A franchise, dude.
Awesome. Yeah, it looked awesome. But granted, we didn't get any gameplay. We just got, cinematic. Again, an IP that's big enough to push the cinematic and get people hype. People will forget about it, and that's okay. And then when it comes back out with gameplay, hopefully, then people will get real rehyped about it. It looked great. It's about Space Marines. You can sign up for it, apparently.
Yeah.
Space Marine-2.com, which I think this is very smart. We're starting to see this being a trend where you can sign up for, information and news, gets people subscribed, keep people in the loop. Pretty good. I'm not a fan of subscribing to every newsletter, but,
email after email after email.
Yeah. I don't really care. I mean, I love the idea of Dune, but I don't really care being an RTS. I mean, Dune was RTS, the Bass, but I'm not a big RTS fan right now. I'm just kind of RTS out.
Yeah.
There's so many RTS out right now. I'm just like,
there is. There definitely is.
Yeah, it's there if you're interested. Among Us VR.
Yeah, like what? I'm happy that they're still out there. I'm playing a game called Goose Goose Duck, and I feel like it's just miles ahead of Among Us, because they have everything that people have wanted for the mods, and they're updating and they're doing these things. But listen, Among Us still has a massive stronghold with that category, I guess. I don't know what you want to call it. So, I mean, having it in VR is cool. Having it in VR is
very kid friendly.
Yes, it is.
So
very
I think
that's
where their big things going. But yeah, the VR is going to terrify the hell out of me, dude. You turn around, somebody walk up behind you like, what are you doing? Like, I can see that being way more fun than playing the game standard. Oh, did we lose? Okay, no, we're good. I can see the game being way more fun being in VR than standard. I mean, it may force me to get an Oculus. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I still don't know which VR I want. If I want an Oculus or if I want a
they're very
Vive.
affordable right now. They're like super cheap,
like $200. Yeah, they're nothing crazy right now.
Rumbleverse.
Yes,
that was awesome.
Yes,
dude. The moment I saw Rumbleverse, I was like, it's epic. Like the moment I saw it, I was like, there's no way this is not an epic joint. Like Epic just has this thing. They have the best, game engine and planet, I feel. And then they come out with these interesting graphics. Yeah. Epic. It's because they know it works. But yeah, that looks awesome. Rumbleverse, you can sign up for it. I think it's Rumbleverse, just rumbleverse.com.
Yeah.
It reminded me of Knockout City, but
yes,
with fighting and stuff. So we're getting it. I'm in it for it. I think it's the genre is empty. S4 League being the Asian equivalent of that. And Ninjala is another one that didn't really take off that well. I mean, it did okay on Nintendo Switch, but Rumbleverse looks awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's a brawler royale. So it's a battle royale for people that don't want to just shoot guns, right? Or crank 90s, right? And I was watching some gameplay yesterday of Lupo playing it, and I'm like, this just looks like fun. I could sit down, and it's a fighter, it's a brawler, it's Smash, it's got all these different mechanisms to it. Like I got invited, I signed up and I got invited to the early access, but I think it was a 1 day only thing.
Yeah, it was like a 1 day thing.
But it's like like my internet is a little bit buggy right now.
I was wondering if we were buffering or not, but okay. Well, at least we're not disconnecting.
Yeah. But yeah, it's early access. You get the Founders Pack. I think they said they're coming out in February.
Oh, dear
goodness. So yeah, as early access, but open beta type deal with it. So we'll see. We'll see though. I'm excited for sure.
February is too much.
I feel like a lot of these games are going to be pushed or moved or something like that.
Dying Light 2 looks awesome. The cinematic trailer. I mean, I was like, oh, before we go forward, Forspoken can be a movie, live action, 100%. Like, I hope you take that route. Anyway, Dying Light 2, finally, it looks awesome. Lots of portrayal in that, man. That was a wild trailer. It got me interested. That's the way you do a trailer right there. Dying Light makes me so nauseated, but it was awesome. That's February as well. February 4th. I don't know. That could be a comic in general. I think that's really, really great.
Dying Light was already supposed to be out because I was like, oh, cool, Halo and Dying Light, I am in. And now it's not. But again, another February release. At this point, it's interesting. I'm interested to see what games are going to get pushed and what are going to stay, because there is no shot this many games they're going to stay where they are right now. I'm sorry.
I think so. These games have been in development forever. You got to like Dying Light 2's got announced like 3 or 4 years ago, man. Like that's got to come out. Lost Ark is definitely coming out. Crossfire's been in development forever. I got invited to that alpha like 5 years ago. It's like the girl used to work at New World when it was brand new. The community manager. Like,
oh my God.
I know her personally. It's wild, man. And then March, I mean, like I said, we got huge games in March. I don't know. And these are not all the games that came out. These are just the games that are like big hype meter. Crossfire, first person shooter with a little bit more action, modern type futuristic. I want to say almost a little not really sci-fi. It's kind of like it's weird. It's got like modern and like this old World War II kind of look. All post-apocalyptic almost after a war. I don't know. It's got an interesting looking background, but the gun play looks good. The graphics look freaking amazing. And Smilegate. Like I said, they make pretty games. What can we say? Not super hyped about it, but it is there and it's coming out. And guess what? February 10th. We'll see that. The big one, Elden Ring. I'll be all over that.
I don't know, man. I love Bandai Namco. From Software is great. Just why I don't know. There's something about that game. Like it's a personal thing in the way the games that I play in the way I like. I got to see some more with it. I'm sure I'll probably check it out, but there's something missing from it for me. It's just not the type of game I'm used to playing. Excuse me.
Are you comparing it to Bloodborne and Dark Souls and Demon Souls?
No, I'm not. I actually I've never played Demon Souls, and I never played oh my God, what is the other game? The hardest game, Dark Souls. I've never played a Dark Souls, and I never like those are the type of games I look at. I'm like, I just have I just have nothing to go into it with.
Take that, make it easier, and then put open world experience with it and with co-op. And PvP if you wanted to, and that's what you have. Elden Ring. Elden Ring is massive. They took the Souls like genre and series, and From Software needed something else to captivate somebody, to captivate an audience outside of a Souls like audience. Bandai Namco came on board because they know how to do it. Yeah, and they just expanded that world. And let me tell you, they haven't even begun the announcements of what that game has potential to do. So right now we're getting like this big of it. We're getting the little box figure of it because From Software and Bandai Namco especially are really big on trailers and production value when it comes to merchandising and stuff like that. But they never give you the grease and the potatoes. Like, I mean, let's just take their anime lineup. Tales of Arise. Huge. Like that game has so much crap in it that I didn't even expect. Same thing with Scarlet Nexus. Like these games are like shown to us this big, and they're this big, And I think Elden Ring is definitely the most hyped game.
Oh yeah,
beyond God of War, beyond everything. This is the most anticipated game. They have to deliver. Bandai Namco doesn't. I don't feel like From Software and them don't miss. I feel like they always do well. Especially From Software.
I'm intrigued to see. I'm intrigued to see what their numbers are going to look like, especially since it's a multi-platform release. Yeah. I want to know how much they're going to sell. I'm very intrigued.
They have classes. out the back. I mean, every Dark Souls game has quote unquote classes, but these are hardcore sewn in classes. There's a progression system. There's skill sets and stuff that you do get in later on. There's wordful exploration, which wasn't a really, I mean, granted, you can argue that exploration was in Demon Souls and Dark Souls, but it was more of a linear exploration. This is open. You can do your own task. You can skip whole things and still complete the game. So it's not like you're set on a road. I mean, granted, I think Demon Souls had that as well. Dark Souls had as well, but you're not set on a road. You're kind of set on a journey and you kind of do your own thing. So I think it's going to be great. But again, it's a niche. It's definitely a niche game. It's not something that is going to pull in your average FPS person to play. You know, it's just not going to be one of those games. And then my last hype meter is interesting. I feel very split. Arc Raiders. It looked awesome.
Oh yeah.
It looked cool. It was old school sci-fi that we used to get back in the day. Kids with like kind of like superpowers and like technology. The old school like Atari kind of look, but it has one thing that's making me ill. Nexon. Oh my God. If you're talking about somebody that slaughtered every game they touched, it's Nexon.
You are not wrong, sir.
I was like, this looks, oh, when I saw that name, I wanted to melt because I was just like, great. Dude, let me tell you, Nexon games always have fire ideas. Their ideas are like, and then they just can't deliver.
Yeah.
Like, please just publish it. Like, don't have anything on development. Hell, just take your name off the game. Like, if you're funding, Nexon ain't got no money. So I just feel like, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if they're publishing. I'm afraid to look. I just don't want them to touch it. When I saw that name pop up, I was just like, oh, I'm going to be sick to my stomach because this looks freaking awesome. Okay, if it's a revamped Nexon, like a completely new Nexon that got brand new employees, then I'm okay. All right, fine. I'll play ball. But I don't know, man.
I mean, so the game itself looks very cool because it's former Battlefield devs, and I'm talking about like the high level, like when Battlefield was Battlefield, was Battlefield,
back in the day.
But like you said, it scares me because it's Nexon, and I honestly cannot think of a game that Nexon has put out that has actually hit and has had longevity.
Maple Story.
Yeah, okay, yeah,
One.
Actually, yeah, and it's
not even their sequel.
And that's a mobile game, right?
Mobile and PS. Started out PC, went mobile.
Oh yes,
but
okay.
The thing is that even Maple Story 2 failed.
Yeah. I mean,
the fuck?
It looks cool. You got robots coming from the sky. You got weapons. It's got that 80s vibe with really cool music behind it, it seems like. If that is the graphics for the game, I'm in, which is what we need to talk about. Like,
incredible.
I'm in.
It looks like everything I wanted in a dream after hitting a blunt, eating some snacks. Like it looks like it's definitely what I want in a video game right now. It's got that freshness, right? It's not what we're used to seeing. It's got that Battlefield feel because it's like a whole bunch of people running towards objects, right?
Yep.
And then it just blows you over there. You're not fighting like, fantasy monster, fighting robots. It's like it's sci-fi. People are walking around in like, cargo pants, t-shirts, and like some homemade toaster, gun or something. It looks so awesome, and it's got that old-fashioned feel to it. It looks fan-freaking-tastic. But man, that name Nexon, I'm just like, bro, I can't get over it. It's like a big old sensor bar.
Yeah. It's scary. It is scary for sure.
I don't know, man.
I don't even know, dude.
They ended on that. They ended on Arc Raiders. That was a world premiere announcement. Never, like, I thought Nexon as a company dug a hole. I mean, I honestly did. I just know every MMO they touch is horrible.
I mean, but at the same time,
they have really bad market stores.
I mean, Nexon owns everything too. Like, it's incredible. They have money in. They have money. No, that's Tencent. I'm thinking of. Excuse me. I'm thinking of Tencent, not Nexon. Yeah, like I'm on their site right now, and I'm like, I
There's a bunch of free to play
outside
stuff.
of MapleStory, Counter-Strike, Nexon Steel, like I got nothing. I don't know any of these things.
Dude, they had, like I said, they come out with fire ideas. They did a MOBA not so long ago. Let me tell you about this. This is a side-scroll 3D MOBA. And it was fire. It was really cool, but they just did not know how to market it, number one. Number two, their online store was horrible. Their battle pass was even worse. And then number three, they just did not know how to treat their creators. So that game got no press. So it just died off and they went away. That game was fire. But anyway,
that's what I was looking for. They don't have all the games that they created. They published Lawbreakers with Cliff Bleszinski.
Oh my God,
man.
Lawbreakers. Only let's not even talk about an idea that could have went far.
I still don't. I guess it came out at the wrong time. They spent
too much money on us. They flew us out there and gave us we gave us tennis shoes, a whole outfit, bro, like hotel expense, like suites. I was like, wait a minute, this game is gonna make them a lot of money because they spent a metric butt ton of money on us. I still have like 3 outfits in my closet.
Dude, one of my favorite hoodies is Lawbreakers, actually, funny enough.
I have a bomber jacket, though. I have Nikes that say Lawbreaker. Adidas, like they had 2 different shoe brands come out with Lawbreaker. Like this shit, it was real. I was like, they're gonna make movies out of this apparently because they have a whole damn routine. And that junk went under faster than I could blink.
So what happened with it? What is it? So because
they spent too much money, dude. They ran out of money. They spent way too much money on advertising. But
was it the gameplay? But like outside of advertising, like this was before I was streaming.
It was on the age of Overwatch, bro. When Overwatch was at its peak. You know, that's when they brought Lawbreakers out, and we were like, it was Overwatch, and what was that other one? Battle. There was another Overwatchy type game that came out besides Paladins.
It was by
Battle
2K and Gearbox. It was like the same
Battle
exact premise. Yeah,
it's still around. I don't know if people are playing it.
Battleborn. I think they actually turned the servers off. I think it's done.
Oh, okay. Well, those games came out while Lawbreakers was coming into the fray, and they just did not survive. Like, you know, it's just like one of those things was bad timing. You know, it's like Battleborn. Like they made you pay. If Battleborn was free to play, people probably would be playing it today. Actually, I would want to say it'd probably be more.
Characters were dope.
Well, yeah, it would have been if it was free to play, people would be playing it. Till to this day, because Overwatch is done, you know, so to speak. Because I mean, dude, you know what game had a huge insurgence right now? Paladins.
Yeah,
Paladins is having a huge surge right now. So I'm just like, whatever. Yeah. So those are the games that are on a hype meter. I know we spent a lot of time on that. But I wanted to get it out. I want to say that we do cover not only comics but games that, you know, involve comics or have potential to be comic book related and stuff like that because it is a part of the world at the end of the day. So there's that.
Yeah, and it's a big part. It's a very big part of the industry. And there is one more thing that I want to talk about in there that we didn't talk about. The Matrix Awakens, the tech demo for Unreal Engine 5, which is Epic Games.
I mean, they own that.
Bro, have you played it?
I haven't played it. I saw it. It was gorgeous.
Holy dude.
Okay, let me tell you this. Tech demos bother me because they are set to impress you and lure you in.
Yes.
That doesn't necessarily mean that Unreal Engine 5 is going to do that for any other game or any other thing that we've ever seen or done. I've seen gorgeous tech demos from Miles Morales Spider-Man in 4K. Is that pumping on my machine system? And that's a PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
They set these machines. We think it's doing one thing. They're setting I'm going to tell you, man, I do like it. I like where they're going with it. I think it's a fantastic idea. And if anybody can do it, it's epic. They got the money to do it. And I've seen the atmospheric manipulation that Unreal Engine 5 can do. I've seen how shadows can bounce, how water works. I've seen the new waterworks. It's incredible. I mean, I don't even know if this is possible. People on podcasts probably think I'm dumb by saying this. The water in Unreal Engine 5 works better than real life water. Like the physics are ridiculous. Like you're just sitting there like, can I drink it? Like, and man, the way shadows work, the way lighting works now in Unreal Engine 5, ridiculous. But as I said, that stuff is set to impress us.
True.
Doesn't necessarily mean your system's going to be able to do that, you know? So it's finicky because it's not about Unreal Engine 5 being good or not. It's, can other companies that adapt this engine put it to use as well as they did with the Matrix?
No, you're right with that. This tech demos are set up to show certain things at their peak.
Yeah, unlimited potential.
Yeah, like this is Epic Games showing you what they can do best with their engine, the one that they designed, the one that they created, and the one they put out, and they're showing it for specific purposes. I understand
that's why
if you
call
give
it an
that
experience.
Yeah, that's why if you give this engine to someone else, are you going to get the same exact thing? No, but with that being said, I think of it as not necessarily now, but how it was a couple of generations ago, where you got that first generation game on a new system, and it took like a year or two, maybe even 3 years to see the full potential of it. Maybe that's what this is. You start giving this out to publishers and developers specifically, and maybe we're not going to see that benefit of it now, but hopefully in 2 or 3 years, you'll be able to see that benefit. But actually, kind of speaking of which, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Is that actually on Unreal Engine 5? Because I know they used the Unreal Engine. Because I was going to say,
because it didn't look like it was.
Well, are you kidding me? Did you see Harley Quinn's model? Harley Quinn's model looked beautiful. It looked like
Unreal Engine 4.
No, I see. There's something about it that doesn't look like it.
I've seen, maybe because I've seen a lot of Unreal Engine 5 that I just know. I could just smell it. Because it's like, it looked like Unreal Engine 4 to me. It looked good. I wasn't like, oh my God, this graphic. When I see Unreal Engine 5, I'm like, I have to ask myself if it's real, especially environmental. I have to ask myself if it's real or not. Like, I've never seen a true game on Unreal Engine 5. I've only seen tech demos on Unreal Engine 5 announced. Like the first tech demo they did with the Tomb Raider type girl that had powers and stuff. Matrix, and there was another game where they showed environmental textures and stuff and how trees blow in the wind and like have their own like physics and stuff or whatever.
So games as of right now that are signed up or confirmed to use UE5: Redfall, Fortnite, Dreamhouse, Echoes of the End. I don't remember that. Black Myth, Wukong. Black Myth looked really crazy, that trailer. Sensu Saga, Hellblade 2. That makes sense. Stalker 2, and then that's it. I guess there's others probably that out there that are not confirmed.
Unreal Engine 5 versus, I knew, like, there was no doubt in my mind it was Unreal Engine 4, which is fine because Unreal Engine 4 is good. It's tested,
still amazing,
it's proven, it's great, whatever. And if people can make it work, especially with FRS and DLSS and all this stuff that makes graphics even more heightened, then it'll look great. I have to ask myself sometimes, and chat, this is for you too, how much further do we want game engines to push out reality? I don't want to play a game where it looks like me in the game. Essentially, I like that little slit of the break of reality into being in a fantasy world. I want a game to look good and crisp, believe me, but I don't want it to feel like I'm watching, I don't know, reality TV all over again. I just feel like that separation needs to be there. That's why I like anime. It's why I like cartoons. It's why I like video games. It's because I'm trying to get away from this static visual reality. If I want to see that, I watch a movie. I like for it to get close, but I don't want it to overcome it. That's just me.
I go back to Battlefront 2, the most recent one, how they use photorealism for everything.
Yeah.
There was something about it. As beautiful, I will 100% say it was beautiful. I didn't like that in my game because I feel like I'm in a fantasy world, but I'm seeing real, if that makes sense. Kind of like what you said. Where on the opposite side of it, when I was in the UE5 demo, I know that the world that they created for it wasn't New York, it wasn't Chicago, it wasn't like, it was a kind of like a mix of everything. As much as detailed and as crazy and as beautiful it was, I didn't get that full realistic vibe. It looked very, very real, but there was something about it that I still saw, kind of like we were saying, I'm still in a game. Like it's.
And that's fine.
But I think
UE5 is going to be that climax that I'm looking for, but I don't want it to go to UE6 in 2 years, where it's like me and you, essentially in the game. I just don't want that. Because let me tell you, China, boy, do they know how to make pretty games, and people don't give them credit because Tencent, it's ridiculous. But the world, Wukong is, that separation, that UE5 that they're doing with Wukong looks incredible. I know it's not. I know it's very video gamey. Yeah, but it looks great, and that's where I wanted to stay. I kind of wanted to stay there for at least the next 10 years, or give me at least 5. So I can marinate in that, because I feel like right now engines are just that people are pooping out engines left and right, and it's really destroying the older games that I enjoyed. Like, for instance, Arcade, the MMO, is on CryEngine, and Kata engine looks like poop now because thanks to Unreal Engine. And I mean, even Lumberyard or Open 3L or whatever they call it now, even those making these graphics look so dang good, I can't appreciate older games that are now becoming like they're finally getting the attention they need, and they feel good, because I'm just like sitting there like, oh God, these look like absolute poop. And I'm just sitting there saying that without enjoying the game. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to become graphic dependent, where I'm just like completely ignoring gameplay for graphics. And I think if we keep going down that road, I don't know, man. Sometimes I love saying, is that background real or is it not? I love the environment, but when it comes to character development and story, there's a reason why Disney is still magical. Does that make sense?
No, you're right. There's a reason why Disney is still magical. Absolutely.
Especially that Pixar. Oh, like I love it. Like I love having that difference, But anyway, I can talk about that all day, because I'm a sucker for detail when it comes to a lot of things. All right, moving on. Getting back into comics. Spider-Man. Man, we're close, baby. Next week. Wow. There's been a lot of press going around. Tom Holland and Zendaya. Man,
they're everywhere.
The damn couple. They are very open about their relationship right now, man. They are undressing each other with their eyes on stage. Like constantly, I'm here for it. Get naked. Damn. Like they are. I mean, you check out Instagram. They are not hiding it anymore. They're like, you know what? It's out there. Dune has happened. That little love romance crap in Dune, it ain't shit. They know where we at. Tom Holland is, man. There was an interview with Tom Holland during in London for the announcement for the trailer, because they're treating this Spider-Man is huge.
This is it.
I don't think there's any other Marvel besides. I mean, Black Panther was pretty big too in Infinity War and Endgame. They did a lot of international, press conferences before based on the trailer. But this is huge, like especially for the age bracket that they're not kids, but these young adults are in. For them to have so much pressure around, there is so much pressure on Spider-Man right now because everybody's making up their own assumptions, and it's great. I feel like at this point, Tom Holland is not as dumb as he makes himself to be. I think he's been told, because he did slip up a couple of times in the past. He's being told to act like that just to give people more. Because let me tell you right now, those pre-box office sales are. So Tom Holland's Zendaya. Tom Holland's being interviewed. Zendaya's in the background doing her pictures for London release, and he cannot be interviewed. It was so awkward that the interviewer was like, there's Zendaya. Because she asked a question, he wouldn't say anything. He was just staring at her. He's like, there she is. Yeah, she is. And she's like, in all her beauty. She's like, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. And then she was like, a goddess. She was like, oh, you have no idea. I was like, get it, Tom. Get that. He is so in love with her, man. And they are so in love with each other. Zendaya is smitten by Tom Holland. That British charm has rubbed off, man. And they look fantastic together. And every talk show I see them on, I try not to watch too many, but every talk show I see them on, they're in sync. It's like they just know each other really well, and people respect them, and that's huge, because there's a lot of times I watched people interview Jeremy Renner, Anthony Mackie, Sebastian, and they're just not really respectful of their privacy. They're always trying to beat something out of them. Like they're just trying to beat something out of them about the movie, and they're like, "I'm not going to tell you anything. Marvel will chop me off if I do this." And they're just like, "Oh, okay, we can tell us about what's this scene." You know, they'll look around. But when it comes to Zendaya and Tom, there's something about Zendaya that spews power. It's something in her looks. It's like Ariana Grande. Like when you try to interview her, if she's not feeling you, she gives you a look and you shut up. And I noticed that with Jimmy Fallon, he knows who he can push and who he can't. And Zendaya, Tom, he pushes all day. But Zendaya, they back off of her real quick. And I think that's why those two are so good for each other, because Tom is very adolescent when it comes to fame. And Zendaya is very, very, very much mature in it because she is so used to being in the spotlight now.
Disney and
she's
everything.
Helping him along. And I think it's not a competitive relationship. And I think that's why they're going to last. You know? Anyway.
You see it's interesting how, you know, it's Spider-Man and MJ, Peter Parker and MJ, and yeah, you know, but you're happy for them in general, not in general, you're happy for them outside of that world. They're the perfect age. Like it's, you know, Hollywood does a lot of crazy stuff to couples, and you think it's fake, and then you have all these things going out there, but there's something about these two where you look at it, and I feel like everyone thinks the same way too. It's like, this is, not only is it real, but this makes sense. It works, and it should last.
It makes it, yeah. And it's only going to push them far in their movie careers, especially with Spider-Man. And we're going to find out how far it pushes them on Friday. I'm really hoping that Zendaya does not.
Man, I'm just telling you. I hope her
character doesn't go away, because I will be pissed.
Everyone is saying stay off the internet starting the 13th at midnight. So Monday Monday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because reviews go out, embargoes go out, the whole 9 yards. Man, I'm telling you right now to stay off of it, because even though we knew what the beginning minute of the movie is, they already released it. And even though it shows nothing that we don't know, I'm like, okay, it's starting. I'm not going to any of the normal sites that I go to. I'm being very careful on Twitter now. Like I'm very afraid of getting this movie spoiled for me. Like, I'm okay with usually checking out spoilers for here and there, especially if it was like Shang-Chi or the Eternals, because, you know, I don't know when I'm going to see it, right? But like with Spider-Man, I know when I'm going to see it, and it's that big of a movie. They're touting it as Spider-Man Endgame. Like I'm like, I got to get out of this. I don't want to see anything about this. I just need to. It's
actually streams too. I'm already going to go get rid of the word Spider-Man in my stream. I'm already going to make that as a banned word, because, you know,
Spider-Man. Man.
Yep. Zendaya, Tom Holland, all that shit. Just go ahead and just get rid of it. Girl One, yeah, absolutely. The funny thing about Zendaya is that so it was very interesting how they created the character for her in Spider-Man. So her name is Michelle in Spider-Man. She's MJ, but she's her own version of MJ. Michelle was the actual lover of Peter Parker, but she was Hispanic, funny enough, in the comic book. The funny thing is that Zendaya had a big part in how this character was developed. It's awesome. A very Zendaya character. And the girl that's like interested in, you know, oppression and all that stuff, and like bringing up, you know, real world incidents and kind of being that off center stuff. She had a lot to do with that creativity. So it's really, really cool to see how her creative genius gets put in. And she started off as a side character and ended up being like so much bigger.
The main
piece, that's because Kevin Feige and team knows who they have casted. They know their cast. At least that's how I feel about it. I mean, so hopefully, like I said, I really hope she survives Friday. The character. Speaking of shows that aren't doing too well, Cowboy Bebop got canceled. Bye bye. Very fast. Fans hate it. There's remember I talked about credibility and IP. You gotta be very careful. You know, we're talking about how Quantic has Star Wars Eclipse. Yeah, and that if they screw that up, they're screwed. It's when you mess with people's IP that they grew up with, or there's cults behind it. You gotta be careful.
EA Battlefront. Everyone loved Battlefront, and everyone loved EA because of DICE. Excuse me, DICE. Yeah, because of Battlefield, and you know they're still on a road of coming back. I mean, I love Battlefield 5. It's a lot of fun, but you know there's a lot of hardcore fans that are like, this needs to change. Like, so
yeah, I mean, Battlefront 2?
Battlefront 2 was better than Battlefront 1, but still
Battlefront 2 has a surge of people playing it now.
Yeah, because they did a lot of changes. I mean, that was a lot of
changes. And Battlefield 2042. That one thing about DICE, their games help their other games out. If people are pissed with one, they'll go play the other one. They get so pissed about one, they go play the other one. You know why?
That's what I like. Rah.
Yeah, because there's nobody does it like Battlefield. There's just nobody or DICE when it comes to major multiplayer FPSs. They know what they're doing. Even though there's problems, it's still fun.
So then you have Bebop that failed. Yeah. I haven't seen it yet. I'm still gonna watch it. I do really? Just need to find time.
You're not attached to Cowboy Bebop.
No, so I'm not. Like I didn't watch the whole series.
That's interesting though. You should do that. Since you're not attached to it, you can give a really open, out there, outside the box view of it.
Yeah, I can't. Like I know you, like Paul, for instance. I know, like, you can't. So like, there's that. But like, I'm also intrigued now because Netflix, Cowboy Bebop failure, they're also doing a live action One Piece. So it's like I know how big One Piece fans are, like, and how big One Piece is.
It may not make it to like.
Yeah. But you know what's interesting? I'm a big Avatar fan. I love Airbender. Yeah. I love the whole.
I think Airbender's going to be done right this time because it already had his one failure.
Exactly. Exactly. That's where my hope is with
the
that.
Cast.
Yeah,
the cast
is fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. We got to move along. Good Lord, this show's been so good. Spending a lot of time with Game Awards. Sorry about that. Hawkeye. Oh my God, I'm in love with Hawkeye. Oh my God, I'm in love with Hawkeye. It just keeps getting better and better. This last episode was fucking incredible.
It was amazing. It was absolutely everything.
Dude, I love seeing Jeremy Renner and Haley Steinfeld on the freaking big, like, the TV. God, they're just so good.
Their synergy together. It's we talked about the scene of them on the train. The same thing when they're talking to the mom. We're partners. Like that back and forth there. Between all four of them, actually, Jack.
Oh, it was so good.
I like his character a lot now.
I love his character now.
The actor, the way he's portrayed, and how he's that goofable, lovable, funny. But
I love the mom. I only get annoyed with moms. But I love the mom. I love her on the lines of Aunt May, and that's wild to me because I love Aunt May. And but man, just that show really hit the feels. It just hits. It
really does.
The way she brought him Christmas because he's missing out with his family. Oh, that was such a good scene. And it was really nothing. The LARPing.
The LARPing again. I love it, dude. I love it.
Did you see?
What did I see?
Did you catch it?
What did I miss?
All right, slight spoilers. Did you catch Bombshell? What the fuck?
Oh, yeah. This is my bag. No. It's my bag.
Dude, when she said Bombshell, I was like, pause. I was like, I looked at Mocho. I was like, did you hear what she said? She's like, I don't understand what the hell that is. I was like, Bombshell. The fuck? And I like looked it up. I was like, oh my God. Like, just want to make sure. But interesting choice.
Yes. So it's okay. So there is a very big thing here. You talk about how comic books and Marvel, how they do things for a reason. Frank, you could definitely explain Bombshell better than I. So Bombshell. If you watched episode 4, this is a character that was now shown to us that has relevance to Marvel and Hawkeye.
But Bombshell. Bombshell. Oh my God, that character's so hilarious. She fails a lot. Let's just put it like that, especially in the comics. Bombshell tries so hard to hurt Hawkeye in the comics. She fails every single time. But the thing about Bombshell, she had a resurgence. This character is kind of something that fell off the map. She was brought back from Miles Morales in the Ultimate Universe, and then it essentially made her way to Prime Earth. 13, 16, whatever the freak. 1631, I don't know the number anymore. Anyway, she brought to Prime Earth, but Bombshell has always been a criminal. So it's really weird that she's a cop in this. Like, what? So I'm really confused at this, but okay. It's a Marvel universe, but Bombshell became Bombshell because of her mom, who was even bigger criminal. And she just followed the ways of her mom because her mom controlled her and pretty much told her how she's going to be. And they were like, they rob banks. They always get caught. Spider-Man went with their ass, rinse and repeat. And then Bombshell became kind of like a goody-goody and ended up in an Avengers. So I think that's where we're going, is Young Avengers, but she's not young. So I don't know. New champions. I don't know what they're going to call it.
West Coast Avengers has been a lot of talk lately about it.
Also that.
Like there could be popping off from there. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised at one point we have the main Avengers, we have West Coast Avengers, we have Young Avengers. Like I fully do believe, because they have so many heroes and characters, that
it's just different phases.
It's just going to be different branches and phases, right? So but
I'm so confused. I'm like, why now though? I was excited. It was like the biggest Easter egg. I mean, it was like it was very done. It was sloppy. It was definitely sloppy. Because stupid, introduced her with a bag. I was just like, yeah, that's gonna stop it. But I get it. I get it. But that was not a light drop. That was
that wasn't. Because in the comics,
like, wow.
Isn't she part of a contracted crew to actually take out Hawkeye? So then once you start hearing that and thinking that, it's like,
she is. But she's like one of the worst people you can ever contract. But I know where she's gonna fit in. I mean, I already pieced together. I'm not going to give it to you guys. I don't want to spoil. The gorgeous Florence Pugh showed her face. The moment I saw somebody going like toe to toe with Jeremy's Clint, I was like, "Oh, that's Florence. She's here." Yeah.
Dude, I have so many questions about that.
What's her name? So that's what a Y.
Florence Pugh plays Yavanna. Yeah.
Yeah, Yavanna.
No, is it?
Black Widow's back. The new Black Widow is here.
Yelena, sorry.
Yelena. Yeah, Yelena.
Yeah.
I love Florence Pugh as Yvonne. I mean, she does such a good job.
I have so many. I have connective tissue here. So episode 4, chat. If you haven't seen it, it's one of the shorter episodes of them. We only have
so much stuff in it though.
We only have 2 episodes left. So we have the 15th. Which comes out right before Spider-Man, so I don't know what's going to happen there. And then the 22nd, which will be after Spider-Man, which you're going to be interested to see what happens. Or it's interested to see what may occur with timing for both of those. Outside of that, so I have a theory about some things that are going on. So do you think there's something up with the mother?
Yes. Because the mother in every comic book has been Hydra.
Yeah, she's been Hydra. She's been bad. She's been part of something. So she's
never been a goody two shoes. Like she's just never been there. So
can okay. Wait. Before I say it, I got to remember her name. In Marvel movies, what is her name? Bring it up. Okay. What is her name? Okay, so there's a couple of things happening in chat, Dirty and anybody else watching. I want to know your opinion on this. So I think it was episode 2 or the end of episode 1. You start seeing that there's something wrong with the mother. Maybe she was talking to in episode 1, she was talking to the old guy who eventually gets killed. And it's part of the, you notice that something's going on down there. There's a whole black market deal. She notices too, Haley Steinfeld, Kate Bishop, that something's kind of off here. Why is my mom talking to this guy? Later on, after the whole fun sit down,
she owes him, by the way.
Yeah. You get the uncle tidbit in episode 3, but I don't think it's there necessarily. But in this last episode, the uncle
is Jack's uncle.
No. You get the uncle part of it with the Kingpin reference. Sorry, with the other girl.
Oh, okay.
Because everyone's thinking that that's the big bad.
Yeah, it is.
So what about this though? What about this though? So after they sit down and talk, right? All 4 of them at the table, right, Chad? It's the fun back and forth. We're partners. We're not really partners. They go back and forth. Then the mother and Hawkeye have a conversation. She specifically brings up Black Widow's death because she knew it was gonna.
Everybody knew Black Widow died.
It was gonna hit him specifically. She said a couple of other things I can't remember off the top of my head. After that scene, she calls up somebody and says, "Hey, I need to talk to you about something." I'm bringing it all together because later that episode, you see Yelena. So. Do I think she called Yelena? Maybe because of that little wink at the end,
Not Yelena.
Yelena. No, I don't think it's the uncle.
Seinfeld lady.
I think she called Julia Louise-Dreyfus the head honcho because if you go back and you see the
Miss
end,
Hydra herself.
Yeah, Miss Hydra herself. If you go back and see the end of what was it? At the end of Black Widow, the iPad that she gives Yelena has a photo of him as Ronin. Who do you think now, knowing the technology that's out there that we've seen, could have a picture of Roland? Bishop Security.
Well, yeah,
it all makes sense.
I mean, I think that's hella intentional for those lines to cross up.
But then
I think that's why.
But then, are you going to bring back Hydra now? Like, why are you leaning into Kingpin, but then you're going to bring back Hydra?
Because there's more than one big bad now.
True.
Like it's just there's so coincidence. First of all, I have to ask, why did Marvel wait so long to announce Matt Murdock returning? Number one. Number two, it was definitely that dude's voice as an uncle. 100%. There was nobody else that I could see.
Yeah, that laugh was him. Yeah.
Also, the way she looked up, she looked way up. And he's supposed to be, Kingpin's supposed to be tall, big, burly guy. Also, we don't know if there's a season 2 of Hawkeye yet. And that's really weird because every other Marvel series announced season 2 either before showing it or even like during the episodes they showed season 2
or something like that.
We're definitely not done with Hawkeye. Like, what the freak? There's 2 episodes left. There's so much there. They're probably not going to announce season 2 later until we get Matt Murdock's world, Kingpin introduced, Spider-Man going in, all this stuff just lining up.
I mean, they already announced that they're working on a Daredevil kind of like reboot 3.5 season. Yeah, with him. Go ahead.
So I'm thinking, and this is all happening in New York. Where the hell is Spider-Man? Is this happening while he's gone in Europe?
So here's the timing for it. If you think of it, they just finished their summer vacation at the end of Spider-Man Far From Home. And that movie takes place right after it. So think of it, it's sometime in August. This is happening in December, in Christmas. So is there going to be a time jump in Spider-Man? Or there has to be a time jump in Spider-Man No Way Home to get us where we are today.
And we can't say that they're not in the same location because she's literally in Manhattan.
You see from the trailers, when he's swinging through, you see Rogers musical trailers. And what's episode 1? Rogers the musical.
That's what I'm saying. So maybe Spider-Man happens before?
Spider-Man No Way Home is going to at least start before Hawkeye. Where it ends up, I assume there's going to be a time jump in Spider-Man No Way Home.
The memory wipe? I don't know.
Yeah.
Because nobody's mentioning him.
How are we going to go into then the multiverse? There has to be a time jump of some sort to get us from
it could happen in that little space and time.
Yeah.
During that episode of the memory wipe or something. Spider-Man news is too big for it not to be announced. He was announced to the world. It's probably between so the events of Spider-Man is coming out on the 17th is happening exactly right after Far From Home, because the moment he came back, it was news that he's Peter Parker. That all those events had to happen, string up together.
Yeah.
So this had to happen after the events of this Spider-Man, since it's Christmas. So it had to.
Yeah, so they're living in a world right now where technically everything that we're about to see happened.
It has to. Or this happened right after Black Widow. Not Black Widow, but the death of Natasha.
Huh.
Like that Christmas after. Because how many years was the time skip? No, how long was it? Her body was found and moved. It didn't have to be. You can bury somebody without their body. But I'm just really confused at because think about it, if Yelena got news about Hawkeye, there's no way in hell she's just going to sit there for months before she goes after him.
You're right.
There's I think we're going to get our answers once Spider-Man is shown. I think we'll have a better understanding. Might not get an answer, we have a better understanding, but it's just weird to me that they're in Manhattan and there's no Spider-Man.
There's no Spider-Man. There's
no news on Spider-Man. Normally Marvel would throw something in the background, and show something about something happening around in the background. So it's really interesting to see where they take this. It's definitely during a break, and the Avengers are definitely not a thing. So very interesting.
I don't know. Like now they were bringing up this whole thing, but then I even think further. I mean, I understand it's not probably going to happen in New York, but then you got Multiverse of Madness, which we all believe, or at least I believe, at the end of No Way Home, that's going to lead into the beginning of Multiverse of Madness. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind seeing the trailers. Yeah. But then once again,
weren't
where's
they in California at some point?
Who?
Like in Spider-Man?
Are the trailers for No Way Home?
I feel like I seen San Francisco Bridge. It could have been just Brooklyn Bridge, but
no, with the Doc Ock fight.
Yeah, that
was somewhere in New York, I believe.
Was that Brooklyn Bridge? Might have been Brooklyn Bridge because those look kind of similar. I don't know. All right.
Yeah, and especially, I know I gotta run here, but there's now a massive amount of rumors with Kate Bishop, Haley Steinfeld potentially being rumored on set for Quantumania because of the relationship between Paul Rudd, Ant-Man's daughter, and Kate Bishop. So that's kind of like the whole Young Avengers thing. I forget her name.
And Yelena.
Yeah, and Yelena. I mean, dude. And then did you?
That makes sense.
That does make sense.
Natasha, Clint, Haley, Yelena, like, the second generation of Hawkeye and Black Widow. It just makes sense.
How is he gonna get through to her? Yelena.
She could have killed Katie. She could have killed Clint.
Well, she winked. I think Yelena knows who she is, and she winked at her because she's like, I can't touch you or I'm not getting my money. Because at the end, that post-credit scene's like, I need money, right? Yeah. Like, I need something that pays. And Elaine goes, yep, this pays. So I'm
way more interested in Hawkeye than anything right now.
Yeah.
Even Spider-Man. It hurts me to say it, but I am way more interested in the Hawkeye relationships and stuff. Because we're finally getting the characters that never got a spotlight, and they goddamn better get a freaking season 2. I swear if they don't, man, I'm gonna be upset. Like I think I don't know. I don't know how well they're doing.
Well, so I'm
pretty sure they're doing well because every time I look, it's trending. Every single Wednesday, it's trending. Every single Wednesday.
So really quick. So you had WandaVision doesn't have a next one, but you know that she's going to appear in the movie.
She's definitely getting her own.
She's in a big part of the Avengers and Madness.
And she's going to be in with Agatha.
Agatha all the way. Yeah. All the time. Yeah. Then you have Captain America. Falcon and Winter Soldier. That doesn't have a season 2, but they did announce
getting a movie.
Obviously, Loki's got a season 2. What If has got a season 2. Yep. Do you think this is going to go a season 2 route, or do you think it's going to go a movie route?
I think for the better, they need to have a season 2 before they even introduce a movie. And I believe the movie doesn't have to have Clint in it at this point. See, I think there's still too much development. I mean, there's obviously way too much development there. There's too many characters to just throw away. I mean, you have Swordmaster Jack. You got her mom. You got Haley. You got Clint needs to get home to his family. I mean, you can't not have him have a happy ending at some point or be done. There's a reason why they introduced the Ant-Man, the Pimsley arrow.
Yeah.
There's a reason why they introduced that. They don't just do that for nothing. They could have used any other arrow. Why that one?
Why Pym? Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff there. She's still being taught. There's still a relationship between him and his daughter and his daughter and Haley that needs to happen. Or Katie Bishop that needs to happen. There's just so much. There's too much there. There's way too much there. So I think a season 2 is going to happen. I just don't know. I don't think they know when they want it to happen.
Do you think it's going to be?
They already shot it.
I wonder if it's going to be Hawkeye season 2 or they're going to tie Yelena and Kate Bishop together and have
Birds of Prey.
Birds of Prey is of Prey is DC.
No, there's something about birds. I forgot what it was. They announced it.
Marvel shows birds.
Yeah, it was something with bird. I can't remember the name of it, but I remember they said something about that. It was multiple. I can't remember. Also, Taskmaster. They're not done with Taskmaster.
I hope not. Like, I really, really hope not. There's just way too much.
Well, they saved that character. That character should have died if they didn't want it, like they did every other character. So, it's very interesting. she might get taken over by, I mean, Hydra, who knows? But it's gonna be very interesting. We're definitely gonna get another Civil War. I can already tell you that. It's probably gonna be a Civil War of all the anti-heroes like US Agent. Everybody's being hired by Miss Hydra. Probably gonna go against a new Avengers.
Yeah.
I mean, we still have Guardians of the Galaxy. We still have Thor. We still have all these big, movies that need to happen. So I don't know, maybe phase 5. I don't know. I just don't think they can hold on too long to a season 2 of Hawkeye and not do it. I don't know. The fact that they haven't revealed it yet is scary. Maybe they'll reveal it at the end of the season. Or maybe they're just waiting to see how well it does. I don't know. I just know for sure you can't just throw Katie Bishop away. You can't just throw Killen away without answering these big questions that you posed. Unless the last 2 episodes are going to be 2 hours and 30 minutes long or something. I don't know.
Man, yeah. So I just looked up Young Avengers again, and Catherine Lang, who's going to be in Quantumania because she got a grow up in it. She's going to be in there. Kate Bishop is part of the Young Avengers. Yelena technically isn't, but obviously you never know.
She's probably the in between.
But like I feel like Clint is going to be the ringleader of them potentially. I don't know, but because there's too many things. There's too many things that tying to it.
Anthony Mackie's Captain America and Clint Hawkeye will be the mentors.
Yeah, that is true.
Maybe they're going to be the bigger leaders, and we get these breakoffs. I mean, we still have Captain Marvel as well. Like we have all that. Yeah. There's so much. I don't know, Marvel. Goodness gracious, you guys got a lot on your hands. Anyway, real quick, Into the Spiderverse. They showed a really nice trailer. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's gorgeous. They're starting to release a lot of stuff about Into the Spiderverse.
Part 1, by the way.
Oh yeah,
that's nice. Yeah. That is nice.
And they're going ham because again, I'm so proud of these young women. Haley Steinfeld again is Gwen Stacy. That iconic voice. She is blowing up so much, man. She's playing such big characters right now. The original cast is back from Spiderverse. Well, congratulations on them getting a second ring when they don't. I mean, it'd have been bad if they didn't. I want to be honest, but the animations. I'm following the animator for Miles Morales, and he literally acts out every animation he does.
That's so cool.
He records himself at different angles and does it, and it's dead on. Like, it's so fun to see. I watched it like probably 100 times.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah, and finally another Hispanic or Latino, superstar is going to be in there, and this Spider-Man 2099. There.
Oh, Oscar Isaac, yeah.
Yeah, finally. Thank goodness, because, I'm going to tell you, man, Spider-Verse is bringing the variety, and I'm really good with the diversity that they're bringing. With it, bringing that to the table with flavor text and everything like that. So don't be surprised, again, if we see that Miles Morales into the fray as a live-action character.
Frank, what are we doing next week, bro? What time is your show? My showing is at 10:40 a.m. on Friday. When is your show?
There will be probably no comics on that Saturday. To protect the integrity of, if we literally did a comics and put let's talk about Spider-Man, man, the spoilers would be through the roof.
I think we need to hold off the entire time.
2 weeks hold off because Christmas is coming. I'm going to be gone. I mean, I'm not going to be even. It's not that I can't do the episode. I mean, I could do it from anywhere. I will be in LA.
Well, I mean, 25th is the following week, and then it's January 1st,
which is another holiday. Which I think January 1st. We may be able to do something on that.
I can get away with January 1st. I don't know about you, but I can.
Because if we taking 2 weeks off, I think we'd be fine. Even if we did an hour show or something, we could do it or whatever.
Yeah, because we could do Hawkeye season finale, then we could do Spider-Man, and we could do the first episode of Book of Boba Fett.
Yep. And then that leads into January leads into Eternals. So
yes, January 12th.
Yep. Which is January 12th, I think. So yeah. I think 2 weeks off. We'll probably run some reruns, maybe some interviews and stuff that we've done. If we'll get with Paul and have a schedule up for that. If you guys still want to hang around on Saturday, if you have nothing to do.
I want to do a reaction video.
I mean, reaction videos are fine.
Non-spoiler reaction.
My reaction is gonna be like, "Holy shit!" or "Don't go watch it." Like
I really hope
those two are probably what's gonna be like. I'll post it on. We'll post it on our. That'll be one of our first posts on
TikTok.
Maybe on TikTok and Instagram. and Twitter. You just drop it on all three. Just give it to Paul and whatever you want to do.
Wait, so do you know what time your showing is or no?
Yeah, it's at 11 a.m.
All right. So I'm going to text you when I get out. Not anything. Just be like, text me when you're out. And we're going to go back and forth.
Yeah.
I need somebody to talk to.
Yeah, no doubt. No, I'm good with it.
Sorry, Winter.
Okay. Yeah, she's seen it with the. Yeah, she does come and see it with me.
Oh,
we
that's
got
awesome.
middle seats too. Middle seats.
Same. You always got to get
All right,
them
everybody.
in.
Well, that's it. That's the end of the episode. It's really packed because there's just too much information. We're not even 100% done. We can hold off, till probably 2 weeks from now. We'll do a reaction video stuff. So looking for social media or whatever for that. I'm just afraid to do a show.
I know.
And people just come in here and just spoil it. I mean, people are dumb. I'll just put it to you that way. But anyway, other than that, podcast for you listeners and stuff, thanks so much for your support. Everybody that's being here, thanks for your support. Hope you enjoyed the show today. Lots of information. Go do your homework. If you haven't watched Hawkeye yet, watch it. Love it. It's great, especially for the holidays. Spider-Man's on the 17th. If you're going to watch it, it's actually, if you're going to go opening night, which would be Thursday night in most cases in the States.
Yes.
Go watch it. Maybe even be earlier in the UK. I don't even know. Later in the UK.
No. UK is 2 days early.
Oh,
so that's why I was saying, like, I'm off the internet on Monday because that's when the review and spoiler embargoes go out. But it will actually be
Tuesday, right?
It will actually be filmed. I'm sorry, be seen by the public on. It's either our Tuesday or our Wednesday. I forget when it is exactly.
I think Wednesday is Wednesday the premiere, or is it Thursday the premiere in LA?
I think Thursday is. It should be Wednesday because it comes out Thursday night.
Yeah, I think it's early. I think it's late Wednesday or early evening Wednesday. So. Yeah, beware of the internet. Simple as that. Because dang well, don't even look at your Twitter trending. Because if you see Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire's name in there, it's all instant spoilers. So it could be like, wait, they're not in it. And it could be that. So, I mean, just stay away from it. I'm literally going to post. I'm going to schedule my posts and be like, going live, and that's it. It's actually, anyway, guys, thanks very much for being here. Appreciate it. Make sure you guys tell your friends and family about comics and follow the Twitter, please. I think it's called The Comic Show or Comic Show. Let me make sure.
It's called The Comic Show. The Comic Show.
Yeah, The Comic Show. At The Comic Show. Please follow it. It's a brand new account, so we need the follows. Yeah, there you go. Cool. I was going to do it too. Awesome. Yeah, follow that. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, make sure you drop it on our Twitter. Let us know. Hey, we would love for you to talk about this. We'd love for you to talk about that. Or what's your reactions to this and that? Go ahead and drop it on Twitter, man. Tell your friends and family. If anybody that wants to get involved with comments and old comments, we talk video games as well, have them post or come by. All right. Spread the word. That's the best way for us to grow. All right. Talk to you all later. Have a great night. And before you go, Matt, where they can find you?
Yeah, you can check me out at Nighthawk Plays everywhere here on Twitch, on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I'm lucky enough to have this name everywhere, thankfully. Obviously, fun week coming up with Spider-Man, another episode. So episode 5 is supposed to be what everyone says for Hawkeye, the jaw dropper. It changes a lot of things. So catch up and watch it if you can. Homework for you, as Frank said. Go and check that out on Disney Plus starting on Wednesday. I'm going to be finishing up Halo Infinite this week. I did die a couple of times, Frank. The story, Fortnite, a little bit of everything. Just going to have a good fun time this week, as I hope all of you. Frank, I know you got some cool stuff with New World and a bunch of Endwalker,
actually taking
obviously.
A break for New World. New World's pissed me off more than good things. Talk about that later.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just... I just look at one of the people I can't stand, and they're playing a game I started playing yesterday because anyway. Yeah, Final Fantasy. That's what it's about right now. Final Fantasy 14. Doing the story and finish the story. It's really good. Very emotional. So I'll be doing that right after this. And you can follow me on twitch.tv/technique. You just a Q, and twitter.com/technique TV. Same way you spell it. It's just the way you see it right here. So there you go. All right. Thank you so very much, everybody. Thanks, Paul. And thanks, everybody, for coming by. I really appreciate it. Have a wonderful weekend. Be safe. Wear your mask. And be careful. There's 2 new strains of COVID. So be very careful.
Bye, everyone. Get your boosters. Get your 5G integrated.